Good morning, guys. As we have come to this point in the semester, we are all proficient and confident in rendering three-dimensional objects onto a two-dimensional surface. We're able to transition those values with light sources showing and demonstrating light to dark, and we've been doing that with black and white color pencils. Now we are transitioning to show reality and render three-dimensional objects onto a 2D surface, but in color. So to do that, today you're being introduced into the color wheel, how the color spectrum reflects light, how all the colors transition one to another in a specific sequence. And you're going to be doing a creative color wheel inside of your sketchbook. All right? So this is just going to demonstrate how you can create your creative color wheel correctly. All right? So the first thing, in order to do that, what we're going to do is look at the color wheel. So by now you all have already looked at the color wheel. We know that my lightest color on the color wheel is yellow, and then I transition around. I know that if I'm working with my purples to my greens, those are my what? Those are my cool side. That's my cool colors on the color wheel. If I'm working with my yellows to reds, I'm working on the warm side. They're going to come forward. Now, what you should have in front of you is, of course, imagine this would be my creative color wheel. This would be my creative color wheel design. Before the purposes of this video, I just have a handout just so that I could show you how I want you to work on them. You may want to use a Sharpie for this project. It depends on how you want that visual outcome to look, but just keep it with you just in case. A ruler, definitely, to break up your spaces. And I have my colors already here. All right? So if you look at the colors, and we're working with Crayola color pencils, they're all on the classroom doors. If I look at them, I know that they're sharpened, they're ready to go. There are other types of color pencils that mix much better, such as Prisma, but we're not going to use those just yet. We're going to start off with the basics, okay? So if you look at the color pencils, red, yellow, and blue is already made for us. Why is it already made? Remember, I cannot mix it, all right? If I mix these two, I'll get what? I'll get orange, but it's already made for you, so you don't have to worry about that. If you mix these two, red and blue, you will get what? You'll get purple. It's already made, so you don't have to worry about that. If you mix these two colors, what will you get? You'll get green, so you don't have to worry about that. They're already there, all right? So let's talk about some of the colors that are there, but have different names so that we can know the association of them, all right? So for example, this right here says green blue, otherwise known as turquoise. You can use this right here. Now some of them say green blue, you can say blue green, it doesn't matter. There are others on the wall that say turquoise, it's the same thing. If you want red violet, hold on one second guys, you hear my wonderful alarm. All right. Back to the lesson. If you look at this color, it says mulberry or raspberry. This is known as red violet, okay? You'll be using this as red violet. All right, so first, let's look at the color wheel and let's see what colors I know I have to mix. If I look at my color wheel and I look at my color pencils, there's certain colors that don't appear. For example, this is orange. This is what? Yellow. I do not have a yellow orange over here. Now, usually what you want to do is build up the color. The color that is first in the name of the color, that is what you want to mix more of. So let's talk about ratios. If I was to mix this, I should have 3/4 yellow and 1/4 orange. You want to have much more of the color name on top because that's what it's closest to. See right here? That's what it's closest to. So I'm going to start off coloring, and I'm going to keep coloring in circles. And if you notice, I'm keeping it consistent. I'm not getting heavy, not getting light. I'm just coloring in circles, going through my composition, making sure that I do what? Stay in the lines. Now, if this were my creative color wheel, whatever that space is, I would have to make sure that I stayed in there as well. I can see it's a little heavy right here, so I'm going to balance that out and turn my color pencil the opposite way and continue to rotate. Come over here, fill in the space, and then I'm just going to do some large circles over top of the whole thing just to make sure it's balanced out. Even tones. All right, then I'm done. Now, if you notice, I did not saturate it. I did not saturate the orange, which means color intensely, because I need to come back with my yellow. Now, if we were using a Prismacolor pencil, it would mix much better, but because we're not using a Prismacolor pencil, we're gonna have to put a little bit of work into it, okay? So now I'm going to take my yellow color pencil and intensely color over top of my orange, and you'll see a huge transition. Look at this area right here. You can see the presence of yellow. And I'll go over top of the whole thing, making sure I'm still going in circles. I'm saturating it very intensely. And I'll go over the entire area. Now, what you will find as you complete your creative color wheel, again, you want to blow, you don't want to brush it with your hand. As you complete your creative color wheel, you'll do a color and you'll say, you know what, Miss J, this doesn't quite look exactly like the color that I need to mix. And the reason being is because the two sides surrounding that color are new. There's nothing there, okay? So let's see them transition. So I know this is yellow. I'm going to look at my color pencil and make sure I don't have any leftover pieces of orange that I picked up when I shaded over this. And I'm going to go ahead and saturate my yellow. So obviously you're starting to see the difference. I can see that there's orange mixed in there. But I still can't quite see the transition because what's not done? My orange. So I'll finish my yellow. Make sure that it's saturated. That way those colors are vibrant. Then I'll come over, pick up my orange color pencil because I keep my color pencils right here. They're always in front of me. Go over here to my orange. Make sure there's nothing on there. You never know. Come over here and saturate my orange. Now look at that transition. You see how it's already starting to appear? It's all about transitions. As you can see, the Crayola color pencil is starting to break apart. I'm going to blow those just a little bit out of my way. Keep coming through. Again, I'm saturating. You want to saturate and make sure that those colors stand out vibrant so we can truly see that transition. And when you're going through, keep in mind that transitions are how we demonstrate light and dark. If I transition to this side, then I'm getting closer to light, closer to my brighter color. As I transition this side towards my cools, I'm going to get darker. All right, so now I can start to see those transitioning on the color wheel. So the other colors that I would have to mix are what? If I've got my color pencils, let's look and see what we have, okay? We got blue and violet, but what we don't have is blue, violet. Yes, so right over here, violet is another name for purple. You'll have to transition these two, okay? So as you're working through, when you need to go back and sharpen your color pencils, sharpen your color pencils. Continue to make sure that you have all your materials in front of you and have an amazing time creating your creative color wheel.